There, folks. I've got a brand new vacuum cleaner here today. It is a Hoover WindTunnel Max. It has the Wind Tunnel 3 technology, which honestly probably means they add another air channel in the base of the vacuum. But couple things on this vacuum already. So I bought this probably 3 or 4 days ago off of Amazon, brand new for $90. And the box came a little I don't want to say beat up, but it looked like, it might have been pushed around a little bit. The vacuum itself is fine other than one thing, and I don't think that has anything to do with the packaging. I think it's just the way that Hoover designed this machine. But there's some good and some bad. So obviously for $90, I said to myself, I can't pass this thing up. Like, it's got to be a good deal. Typically this thing is like $160 to $180 depending on where you're shopping, and they're discontinuing them if not already discontinued. So if you see one and you've always wanted one, snatch one up, especially if it's at a good price. It's probably still $90 if you're watching the video around November, what is it, 6th, 7th today? I think it's the 6th. So, I've used it once. I unboxed it. I did a video on that. I haven't watched the video before posting it yet, so I don't know if it's something I'm going to post because I had family here when the vacuum showed up, and they definitely don't like me buying new vacuums and bringing them into the house, so I sneakily, if that's even a word, I snuck down to the basement and put this thing together and then brought it upstairs. And I did a quick vacuuming with it in this room, and honestly, it cleans well, but there's a couple things that I'm not a huge fan of. For one, it's a physical thing. Here on the side of this side's worse than the other. I don't know what is up with this. Most people will probably say it's just Chinese junk, it's this, it's that. Obviously, if I can squeeze it just with my fingers, the suction alone seals itself. So when it matters that that is closed, it's not even that it's open, but that it's sealing tight, it will. No doubt about it. So that is not a huge concern. The vacuum itself seems to clean very well. I said that part already, but I'm trying to... Oh, it's kind of noisy. It really is kind of noisy. A little bit unpleasant for my ears. I was hoping for something along the lines of the Hoover WindTunnel High Performance. I don't think these have the same motor in them. I really think that this one is a bit noisier. However, I do really like the shape. I like the design. I like the style of this vacuum a lot. Most machines that you see out now today, you are going to find them like basically a skeleton of a vacuum with the motor with a dust cup. That's about it. They're always coming up with these really small vacuums, and probably about 10 years ago they would have been considered an ultralight upright. And this was a full-fledged upright, a whole home cleaning vacuum cleaner. And nowadays, that's just not the case. I mean, the cleaner heads on most of the vacuums that you buy now are even smaller than the red portion of the base on this vacuum. So they don't clean a lot. Not that that really matters to me, but you're paying a lot more for less, is the way that I see it. So I tried to use the turbo tool. It doesn't really spin once it hits a surface, which has been notorious for Hoovers. It's the tool. I know it is. It's not the vacuum itself, because the vacuum itself has just plenty of power. It really does. Now, when I first turned this thing on, unfortunately, it did start to slip. The brush roll kicked on, and then it stopped spinning a couple of times until I got it more over here into the center of the carpet, probably where there wasn't a high traffic area and the vacuum wasn't trying to seal down to the floor so much, which is, I think, what had happened. So I'm going to set this up and try and do a little bit of cleaning. I don't know what kind of view I'm going to get. Not a great one, that's for sure. I'll have to pause this for a second. Okay. So I have it set up. I'll plug it in real quick. Like I said, it is noisy. Honestly, I think that if this might need a new belt because it's probably been sitting for a while. But I've never in the past had to replace vacuum cleaner belts. Never. Before we got this carpet. And this carpet isn't really that dense either. I mean, it's dense compared to what we used to have, but honestly, it's more of just this vacuum, or the stretch belts just stretch out very quickly. Even my Panasonic, it had a new belt put in it when the day I made a video of it, I put a new belt in, so you could look back and see it's probably been about 2 or 3 months and it already needs a new belt. With a vacuum like that with a metal base plate, that's fine, but this one's plastic. And I have had issues with Hoovers in the past and their base plates cracking. So we will see. I'm gonna... That was my fault. I don't know if you could hear that. Ooh. I don't know what that was. Interesting sound. So you can hear this bag door kind of release as the motor winds down. My gosh, this thing is such a quirky machine. And I don't think that it's just... I don't think that they're all like that. But the fact that I think some of them are, it really has to do with the quality management, the quality control on it. It's not a bad vacuum. And I understand now saying all of what I just said, probably people's takeaway is going to be, oh, that thing's a piece of junk. I'm not going to pick one of those up. The cleaner head I have set on a 5 because this thing, it's too low to the ground on 4, and usually I drop the vacuum down all the way to the base, or the very, very, very low setting to vacuum the carpet. Now, no doubt about it, this thing grooms the carpet nicely. It definitely cleans, but the whistle that you heard at the end where I powered the vacuum down, the bag kind of leaking out the side because it's kind of wonky, it's not lining up properly. It doesn't leak out while vacuuming, it just leaks out when you power the vacuum down. And honestly, I'm not a big fan of having to change the height adjustment. It's nice if it was like a pedal style, but I think that the dial is a thing of the past, having to bend down if I wanted to clean bare floors or something with this. I'd have to be constantly switching from the bare floor setting all the way to setting number 5. But it did a great job cleaning the carpet and grooming the carpet, that's for sure. But for some reason, it has the appearance of a higher end or like a full size, full capability machine. But to me, this screams Bissell Power Force bagged vacuum quality. I don't think that this thing is really it. The cleaning is there, but the quirkiness, it just reminds me of like an early 2000s Subaru Impreza, you know, like that tin can sort of feel. It's probably reliable, but it's got, you know, some different details and things about it that make it just not work the greatest at times. It's a little noisy. You can see the button here. You just push this tab in. Most of you watching this video are probably already aware of these vacuums, but you can see the dirt bag sits on there. You press this push button and it won't drop out unless the bag is full enough or heavy enough. I don't think that has anything to do with the fact that they designed it to be like that. I think that's just the way that it is. You've got like a carry handle here under the front. This is a post motor filter. This is your pre-motor filter. But I mean, it's kind of disappointing. I really had high hopes. Ooh, almost fell backwards. For this vacuum. I really did. But unfortunately, it's just not meeting like my expectations. My goodness. It's just not meeting my expectations. I was super excited to get this thing home because I was so excited to get like a full-size vacuum again, something that wasn't like a skinny pole with a motor on it. And unfortunately, I just don't think that I'm going to keep this thing. Maybe for the week, see if I change my mind, but I don't think that I'm going to, which is sad to say. If you guys have any questions, please leave them. I know a lot of you will probably say, "Oh my gosh, I love that vacuum. I have it." And I'm really shocked. Like it's not it's not poor. It's not poor by any means, and most people would probably really enjoy it. But I think the people who really enjoy it are also the people who are always buying new Hoovers and Bissells, and um, they're always trying to find these off the shelf vacuums, and I don't really swing in that direction when it comes to vacuums. So I like, you know, higher quality stuff, and I'm going to give it some time and then I'll probably post an update video, but I really don't think I'm going to keep it. It just does. I'd rather spend $90 on a different vacuum. And even for 90 bucks, this thing just doesn't really wow me at all. So, thanks for watching, and drop a comment and let me know what you guys think.